Well, what do you know? Just like I said, they're starting a war in Ethiopia, which was one of the fastest growing economies in the world before the totally real epidemic that's going on. Like I said, don't be surprised when these people do this shit. The motto was always, we feed you, you don't feed yourselves. And as soon as they started building that dam, I knew it was only a matter of time before the whites went up in there and stoked the fires and started a goddamn war. It's more than likely the reason why they're in Somalia starting shit, ramping up that war. And please believe when Jim Crow Joe gets sworn in, it's going to be all hands on deck. It's going to be all hands on deck. So, yeah, it's going down. And Jim Crow Joe came out swinging. He let the blacks know where they stand with him. I keep telling you, Jim Crow Joe's an old school white supremacist. He just straight up lied. Like he always does, like he lied about his record, like he lied about his credentials, like he lied about his academics. He lied about the NAACP always supporting him when they didn't. They didn't support him on any of his presidential campaigns. He talked about all the things he's accomplished. He hasn't accomplished a goddamn thing, except for war, the crime bill, the burn rights, and cops grants. They gave cops more money to harm people with less oversight. And please believe police reform is just going to be him giving cops even more money to do what they've been doing now with even less oversight. And what do I mean by less oversight? It's real simple. Cops do a no-knock raid. Cops shoot an unarmed person. Cops don't do any time. Their union money is intact, their pensions are intact. And nobody gets any sort of real tangible punishment, aka prison time, for killing people. They aren't held accountable or liable when they refuse to work with a DA or a judge that tries to prosecute them. No, see, none of these things are going to happen. Accountability is anathema to these people like Jim Crow Joe, because the purpose of the cops is to always keep an eye on minorities and the poor, to keep them in check, and to generate revenue. That's it. Blacks are going to be harmed under Joe Biden just like they were harmed under Obama, where he took away tons of your wealth. The economy was stagnant. There was nothing but petty-ass, low-wage jobs, or what they called the gig job culture, like it was just a huge boon, like an economic boom or something, and it wasn't. They made the banks bigger. They took even more oversight away from the corporations that caused the financial crisis in the first place. They're gutting small businesses, while every other country on the earth is supporting their small businesses to get through the crisis. These people have gutted small businesses. They're taxing small businesses. They're choking out small businesses with these measures and no support. So when the dust is settled, everybody's replaced by TGI Friday, Panera Bread, and Starbucks. But this is the guy. He also wants to bring back the individual mandate, which only benefits pharmaceutical companies. and insurance firms. And he went and told the little silly bootleg blacks to their face, I'm not gonna do a goddamn thing for you. He doesn't give two shits about the Constitution. He didn't give a shit about the Constitution during the first Iraq War. He didn't give a shit about the Constitution when they disavowed Congress and went up in Libya and helped the terrorists take it over. Where was all this concern for the Constitution then? Where was all that concern then? But now it's all about the Constitution. That's called another lie. What he's really saying is this: I'm not going to do a goddamn thing for blacks. Just like the evil oil said, because I'm a goddamn white supremacist, and I'm going to ramp up the cops to harm you. And that's what I brought in the East Indian to help me do. An East Indian whose father is an East Indian from Jamaica, pretending to be black, and who can't stand black people. And you blacks are going to be crying and moaning about how Joe Biden didn't do nothing, just like Obama didn't do nothing. Anything to avoid the real solution. And we all know what the real solution is. And then you got guys like Jason Black. Jason Black is basically just another guy peddling the vote your way to freedom crap with a new spin on things via radical talk. Radical talk, radical talk, radical talk. What's my point? Vote your way to freedom. Votes don't matter. Voting doesn't work. Civil disobedience does not work. None of that shit works. They tried civil disobedience during Occupy Wall Street. Obama cracked their heads open. Martin Luther King, the banker, he tried civil disobedience. He tried working within the system with JFK. Ended up getting his brains blown out by J. Edgar Hoover's goons. Fred Hampton was a great guy. He was GTG, but he was trying to be all-inclusive. So thanks to nukes and J. Edgar Hoover's hit squads, he ended up getting murdered. And why would all this stuff happen? Simple. This is a race war. It's a race war. No matter how much you serve, no matter if they put a black Raytheon executive on the Joint Chief of Staffs or whatever this guy's going to be doing, none of that. I mean, hell, Donald Trump, who's a white nationalist, he put a token black guy in his cabinet. What the hell does that mean? He still went in on your black asses via those ICE troops working as secret police. You think Joe Biden's not going to do the same thing? And they're calling him Beijing Joe. Some moron said some dumb shit about Joe Biden. They said this motherfucker's going to help the Hong Kong Chinese come to America because they're pro-CCP. What kind of fucking moron says shit like that? The whole purpose of the Hong Kong protest was that the Hong Kong government was giving more leeway to Beijing, so these guys were protesting the Hong Kong government because of that fact. But this is the kind of morons you're dealing with. They're trying to be government cucks and don't even know which way to go. Jim Crow Joe is going to screw you niggas over. GTG is the only answer. It's time to put the biscuits down and go for the real solution.